Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves on the map Row Rage to witness a 3-on-3 show match. That's part of the Delicious Whirled Cup tournament. If you're not familiar with this tournament, I highly encourage you to check out the links in the description below for more information. Now, as you can tell, like the creators of South Park, the creators of this map like to have some fun. Cows on top of tuna, deer in the berry bushes, and huts, and even more huts. Now, all the players herd their herdables with 6 starting villagers, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the teams we'll be watching today. Headlining team GamerLegion, as you can see in the top left of your screen, we've got TaToH playing as the red Dravidians, the Viper playing as the yellow Gurjaras, and Jordan playing as the purple Vikings. Now, headlining team Aftermath, as you can tell on the top right of your screen, we've got MBL playing as the teal Ethiopians, Hearttt playing as the Berbers in green, and Hera playing as the blue Japanese. Now, instead of the usual Civ intros, let's just take a look at the team bonuses that the players will actually share with one another. Starting, let's do it clockwise. The Ethiopians outposts have +3 line of sight, cost no stone. The Berbers genitors available in the archery ranges starting in Castle Age. And lastly, the Japanese galleys have 50% more line of sight. Now, for Team GamerLegion, Jordan as the Viking docks are 15% cheaper. The Viper in his usual yellow as the Gurjaras, camel and elephant units are trained 25% faster. And the Dravidians in red docks provide 5 population space. Now, a final note before we actually dive into the map itself. This is only one game out of a best of 7. So that's why you'll see at the top, it does say best of 1. Now, you may be curious, why isn't he casting the other games? Well, let me tell you, first of all, that is a fantastic question that I'm going to answer for you right now. If you've been following this channel, you know my wife gave birth recently, just a few short days ago. So for now, I only have the time to cast, edit, and upload individual games. Every other waking second is spent navigating the confusing and, believe me, downright scary baby industrial complex. Besides, spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I'm even giving you time to skip ahead if you don't want to hear spoilers. But spoiler alert, the other games in this best of 7 didn't really last that long, so you're free to watch them at your own leisure, or if you're watching in England, at your own leisure. Now, with that being said, all of that preamble aside, my god, that took a long time. Let's dive into the map itself. First thing you're going to notice is Team GamerLegion have possession of the western portion of the map, Team Aftermath the eastern portion of the map. The map itself looks like a very poorly irrigated sewage plant. There's a bit of a dirty, what do we want to call this, lake? Quagmire? Something? Oh, if I was this cow, I wouldn't be drinking this water. Although, take a look, dolphins. Oh my goodness. Look at them. Just chirping and chirping, laughing their asses off. I guess that it's not that polluted. It certainly looks polluted to me. And then we've got 6 little tiny indented lakes all the way around. Lots and lots of sources of food on this map. Lots and lots of water-based sources of food. Lots of berries, deer, cows for everybody. Lumber all the way ringing around the map. So think similar to African clearing, although it's a little confusing. Is this elevation going downwards as it enters Terra Incognita, or is it going upwards? It kind of looks like downwards, I guess, which makes this one giant plateau. So I'm going to stop zooming out. I know some of you are watching this on a smaller screen, probably very unfair to zoom out to that regard. Purple and red already pinging the Jordan and TaToH want to make an issue of things. Let's see what the players have actually scouted. So Team GamerLegion, TaToH heading out first here with his scout. 3 militias already. Massive army supplies of 6 to 5. Basically scouts, basically militias. And here we go. First action of the game goes here to TaToH, who's being very aggressive. Jordan now joining in on the fight. Where is the Viper scout, by the way? His camel scout. Oh, it's right underneath my very, very nose. So they are attacking Hearttt immediately, targeting the center, the pocket position. I guess you would call this a pocket? Let me know in the comments below. Is it a pocket on a 3-on-3? I believe so, right? That being said, the map is pretty damn open, so we'll see. For now, MBL creating a bit of a funnel situation here. Doesn't want to get harassed, but doesn't want to spend the wood necessary to create a full wall of huts. Huts everywhere. Man, the designer of this map loves huts. TaToH has now reached Feudal. MBL, the last one. And right as I finish that sentence, he hits Feudal. So now we're all in Feudal. Militia have become men-at-arms. Hearttt is battling. We'll see how well these villagers do at the end of the day. Men-at-arms, not exactly the strongest units. Scouts coming out, 2 more in the production tab for him. Army supply starting to grow. Population in terms of civilian count, almost identical, 73, 74, 70. I'm just going to cast the number that is existing. Otherwise, I'm going to be driving myself and you guys crazy as I try to keep up. 76 to 75, let's put it like that. Although that was 75 a second ago, meaning Team Aftermath just lost a villager or a fishing ship. Hera's archers moving out. They will intercept Jordan's archers here. Hera, who is outnumbering his opponent 3-2, is now outnumbered, what, 5-3? Oh, these guys, they saw the other reinforcements for purple, decided that we want no part of this. They are hightailing it home. Hera under no kind of pressure, so not too sure why he sent those guys home. Loses his scout. Let's take a look at the vision for Team Aftermath. Pretty damn good vision. Sees the Viper, see Jordan. Archers attacking archers. And there you go. There you have it. Hera taking out the archers of Jordan. At the same time, though, our Dravidian has now discovered MBL's southern expanse, southern frontier. Oh, MBL probably wishes he put up a palisade wall there to trap that scout. What are you? You are a converted cow that is now grazing at the edge of the world. Oh, be careful. You do not want to fall off the flat earth here. Hera continuing to be aggressive, putting on pressure to Jordan, or rather on Jordan. More and more archers streaming across the map. Little blue dots. Hearttt adding a few of his scouts as well. Let's see what kind of defense Jordan can put up here for now, not needing to put up any kind of defense because Hera has backed off a little bit, deciding to clump his units. More and more army being created. Civilian populations remain almost identical. Militaries remain almost identical, both in terms of number and composition. I don't know if you guys can hear the Dolphins having a hell of a time here. I don't think they realize the slaughter that's about to go down here. It looks like Hearttt being the primary target here for the Viper and for TaToH. He has 1 scout here. And that scout is already at half HP, and now it dies by the town center, enough to shoo away this weak feudal army. And there we go. Just as TaToH discovered his army, his units are not quite strong enough to take on that town center just yet. At the same time, though, our Ethiopian moving out with archers of his own. Man, I thought casting a 3-on-3 would be a little bit easier than casting a 4-on-4. If you're not familiar, right before my son was born, we were doing basically daily live streams. And by the way, we are going to get back into those live streams very, very soon. And we were doing a lot of Rage Forest, and man, that was not easy to cast live. Lots and lots of action all over the map. The Viper, very defensive watchtower. He knows that his wood line is exposed. It's pretty damn far away from his town center. And so there's it's a good idea to put up this tower. The problem is, right before he puts up this tower, our Ethiopian is going to be putting a lot of pressure. But now that the tower is up, all the pressure has gone. The problem for the Viper is he is now expended basically all of his stone. At the same time, his teammate, Jordan, is now being pushed into emergency market. This is a lot of villagers to... Oh, did he just lame his own deer? Did Jordan just lame his own deer? Okay. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know what the hell the point of that was. Viper retreating with his 7 scouts. Looked like he was about to head home, but I think he realized maybe he's a little bit too far from home. The Viper, No Way Home. Pretty damn good name for a game of Age of Empires on a map this big. MBL looks like the pressure has gone off of him. He is free to just build his economy. He, however, seems to be carrying his team militarily. Half of his team's army supply is in his archers. Remember, Ethiopians, the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Again, the Viper and TaToH pinging over here. Man, they want to make an example out of Hearttt. But at the same time, the Viper is having a pretty hard time after this initial army that he created. No, not the hut, not the hut. Oh man, I'm getting sentimental over this hut that I didn't know existed 18 minutes ago. But after creating this initial army here, the Viper, and now going up to Shrivamsha's, being the first on his team to hit Castle Age Hera, the first on his team, pulling a little bit of a Mr. Yo over here, creating a little enclave for himself. But sorry guys, as I was about to say, right before I interrupted myself a million times, the Viper is struggling to get out of his base after this initial scout army that he built, just because MBL's been here the entire time. Uncharacteristic idle villagers here by the Viper, 7 of them. This just goes to show you how much attention he's paying to other parts of the map, how intense this game is. When's the last time we saw the Viper have a sixth of his villager count in idols? That is just what's the word I'm looking for? Unprecedented. At the same time, he's got a fire galley defending the coast here, defending the beach, a very rocky beach, not a very sandy or inviting beach, but again, not a very tropical or inviting piece of water here. Hera now moving forward with his Japanese crossbows, but there is a shiitake mushroom ton of Viking archers here. This is a lot of archers, 17 of them. Army supplies basically identical. Villager supply actually identical. I say villager, I mean villager and fishing ship, of course, civilian population. Okay, Hearttt has managed to secure his base together with the help of these Ethiopian foot archers, but the Viper's not done. He's moving in. Oh no, why did these spearmen not attack? That was a very bad lapse there for Hearttt. He could have at least maybe gotten some damage done. Maybe not killed, but maybe gotten some damage done. In any event, now that MBL has finished his aggression here, now that he's been knocked away from the Viper's base, the Viper is free to move out with his Shravamshas. Although I don't know if he'd be moving out if he knew that there was this Japanese snake slithering right across his base here. We'll see where Hera decides to put these crossbows. Why is Jordan pinging all over this area of the map? I don't know. We'll take a look in a bit. The Viper's scout cavalry. By the way, how many does he still have? He still has a 6. They are still on this side of the map, still protecting these crossbows. Oh no, Heartt's woodline is incredibly exposed. If TaToH decides to make an issue of this, all the players are now in castle. And if I'm not mistaken, if somebody who organized this tournament, if anyone who's familiar with the rules, I believe the rules were, although this might be from last year, if by any chance Dragon Milk is watching this, or somebody, I highly doubt they will be, but if you are, I believe, what was the rule? There was no slinging until Castle Age, until all the players are in Castle Age. Now, I don't know if that means all the players on your team or all the players in the game. I'd imagine it's all the players on your team. I'm not too sure why the Viper is being so hesitant about engaging with these crossbows. He's got 9 Shravamshas upgrades on them. No attack upgrades, 2 defensive upgrades. He could easily catch some of these crossbows in a hit and run, right? I mean, these are they dodge 5 arrows. So 45 arrows dodged, but now he's being sandwiched here between MBL's crossbows and Hera's. Now he's got to run away. This is just way too much crossbow. This is 30 crossbows, basically, ready and able and willing to crush whatever he is sending against them. A 3rd town center going up for him. TaToH with the 2nd. Jordan still on just the 1. Let's take a look. Oh, we got our first elephant archers out. +2 for our Dravidian. He is pinging here. He wants to catch these unsuspecting Ethiopian crossbows. Let's compare our upgrades. +2/+1 to +2/+2. Clear advantage for the Dravidian. Plus, remember, Dravidians... Or sorry, what am I was about to say. Ethiopians, though, fire much, much faster. 18% faster, but doesn't matter when they're surrounded by Shrivamshas. And MBL, who was carrying his team in terms of military supply, now loses almost half his army, down to 3 pike, 14 crossbows. Man, they have it out for Hearttt. This is a huge chunk of army here. 25. This is more than a third. This is almost 40%, right? 25 out of 71. That's almost 40% of GamerLegion's army is in the back of Heartt's base. They do not want the Berber to get his economy up and running. Wow. Either that or these guys just really hate Hearttt. I don't know. I don't know about the internal politics. I assume they were all just friends. At the same time now, our Berber, though, on the other side of the map, says, you know what? I think I can secure my base at home. I don't need to worry that much. Let's join up. Hey, Hera, wait up. And now he adds his knights. MBL, look at this. A 4th town center for our Ethiopian. Let's take a look at civilian populations, by the way. Hearttt, obviously, with the lowest, 33. Highest going to Hera. Interesting. Behind this, 4 town centers for him, ahead of MBL. On the other side, we've got the Viper, who I think that flashing light means that he is housed at the moment. Looks like the civilian populations are starting to increase for Team GamerLegion, who are now coming under attack. These elephants need to be careful. Number 1, they're on the low ground, not where you want to be. Number 2, they are outnumbered. What? Oh, and look at them, shaped like an arrow even. 32-2. Oh man, 32-2. And now all 3 members of Team Aftermath are basically piling on to TaToH. Oh, poor TaToH. What did he do to deserve this? The Viper, again, had to deal with a little bit of military here. The Viper, though, has the highest civilian population on his team. First to go up to Imperial is Jordan. Off the back of 1 town center. Just goes to show you how powerful that Viking economy is. Free wheelbarrow, free handcart. Oh my. Let's take a look at his army supply. 42 crossbows. Lowest villager count on his team. The biggest army supply on his team. And somehow still going up to Imperial Age first. No one on Team Aftermath is even close. Take a look at their resources. Do any of these resources look like they're even remotely close to going up to Imperial? They are not. Viper heading home with his Shrivamshas. Red pinging over here saying, hey, there's a huge body of crossbows. Look at this. 47 crossbows, 4 knights. Team Aftermath wants to end this, and they want to end this now. TaToH uses the brief respite. Is it respite? I think it's respite. A brief break from hostilities to build his 3rd town center. And now Hera, MBL, caught out behind enemy lines, surrounded by town centers to the south. It's the original tower that the Viper built to the north. The question is, do they have the numbers? There's a bunch of Viking skirmishers added into the mix here. The Viking, by the way, at this time moving out with these villagers. We'll keep an eye on them. What do they want to do? I guess the answer is yes, there was enough army here for Team Aftermath. Army supplies identical. Civilian populations identical. My goodness, I guess when you gather 6 of the best players in the world in a 3-on-3, you kind of get what we're looking at right now. Incredibly similar playstyles, incredibly similar micro. Jordan first to Imperial. Let's see what he does with his advantage. Next up will be TaToH in 2.5 minutes. A little bit behind him is MBL. Although Hera, take a look at his resources. 1,100 food, 1,100 gold. We know exactly what that means. Town center for our Viking. What are you building? Arbalests. I'm starting to get a little scared here for Team Aftermath. Number 1, their army supply just dropped by 20. Their entire expeditionary force here to the west of the map has basically been nullified. And now they're going to have to deal with Viking crossbows. Not 3, not 10, not 15, not 30. 46! 46 arbalests from our Viking upgrades. +3, +2. Missing 1 more armor upgrade to fully max out the armor. Will he get the camel? Okay. That seemed to have missed a lot. Okay, does get the camel. But man, Hearttt just never had a chance to get his base up and running. He has just been surrounded, attacked. This forest is no longer jackable. This forest has been cleared of lumberjacks. And purple just continuing to circle around everywhere. Now Hera is coming under attack to the south. Hera is coming under attack to the north. But Hera is not Hearttt. He's got a few skirmishers. He's a minute and a half away from Imperial himself. The Viper pinging here now. These knights from the Berber continuing to be annoying. Knight versus skirmishers, we all know how that ends. Knight versus camel, maybe a little different story. No attack upgrades for the Viper. No attack upgrades for Hearttt. And the camels, the Shrivamshas, the cherry on the sundae, come in, demolish all the knights of our Berber. Hera, well-placed castle, basically secures the entire northern perimeter of his base. To the south, he has now sandwiched these arbalests. +2/+2 upgrade. Upgrades on them, but +3/+4 on these arbalests. So even though they will probably trade out quite well. Oh man, they still won't kill all of Hera's units. To the north, our Dravidian, remember, he was first to Imperial. Or sorry, no, what am I talking about? He was not first to Imperial. Ignore the last 5 seconds of what you just heard. MBL is coming under attack. Our Viking is everywhere. But his count has been whittled down slowly but surely to only 27 arbalests. We'll see what kind of damage he can get done. Amassing another army here. Fresh recruits. And the Viper, 120 villagers, 7 fishing ships, starting to go up to 13 Shrivamshas. Again, he's supply blocked. Again, he's housed. Army supplies now 86 to 72. Villager count still identical. And Hearttt, yet again, finds himself all with the original spearmen. 1 kill on them. Forget upgrades. Forget anything for these spearmen. They are just watching their town center burn. They are playing the fiddle as his town center burns. Now purple pinging over here. Hera is moving out. He is an Imperial. He is getting chemistry. But he is using crossbows to fight 2 units designed to kill crossbows. Number 1, Shrivamshas. If you're a crossbowman, probably the last thing you want to see coming over the horizon. And number 2, better upgraded Viking ranged units. Okay, in 30 seconds, he's going to have both chemistry and arbalest. So does need to retreat here for now. Shrivamshas can chase, but probably shouldn't. They catch a few stragglers. But man, Shrivamshas are not exactly the strongest unit in the game. 8 base attack for the base model. Our Ethiopian loses his onager. Will lose these guys as well. And now the Viper, last on his team, is heading up to Imperial. Jordan is still attacking. Look at how annoying he's being with 4 arbalests to the northwest, 2 arbalests to the north. Sorry, let's start that again. 4 arbalests to the northeast, 2 to the northwest, 4 to the southwest, and he is just doing whatever he can to be as annoying AF. Hearttt, take a look at the scores, just not able to get his numbers up here. 63 villagers to the 112, 146 of his teammates, although Jordan not exactly with a high villager count himself, only 86. And it is not a 1v1. This is a 3v3 where players can sling each other, players can support each other. So I don't know that your weakest, let's use the word weakest teammate here in terms of villager count, only has 20 villagers less, but okay, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. My goodness was Hearttt just not given an opportunity. He just could not get couldn't get the numbers up. Maybe he should have secured the stone. There's enough here for a castle. Let's take a look at his resources. Only 63 stone left. He had enough stone for a bunch of town centers. Had a few knights out on the map, but just unable. Hera's base, by the way, has now been split in 2, cracked open like an egg. Shrivamshas to the south, Viking ranged units to the north. So like the Roman Empire of yore, he has been split in half. Not too sure how much longer he could survive. Looks like MBL was probably the best situated player, even though Hera has the higher score. It looks like MBL here was kind of left alone for a bit. Does have a good amount of vision of his opponent. A random spotting house here. I like that. Take a look at TaToH. So he's moving out on the map. He is ready to meet the enemy. And wow, look how damaged these crossbows are. trade even up for Team GamerLegion. Let's look at how many trade cards they have. None for Jordan. The Vipers got 6. And that's basically it. So it really was only the it really was only the Viper. Let's see if we can catch any trade card in the act of returning home. Where are these 6 trade cards? So there's one heading out, 2 heading out over here, a third one heading out. So none of them are actually heading back. So we don't know exactly what the payload is for these trade cards. No trade cards for Team Aftermath. And the map, even though it's so evenly divided from north to south, east to west here, at the end of the day, it looks like Team Aftermath, because Hearttt just couldn't get his base up and running, even with 4 town centers, has enough food to make only 5 more villagers. But what the hell can you do here? Hera came into support. I love this. But in doing so, exposed his own rear end here. And now not much left here. 2 skirmishers in here. Nothing in here but a few skirmishers. I mean, Hera probably could have held out a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, it looks like our Ethiopian was now being under siege. It looks like we saw some bombard cannon here. 6 kills on him already. The Ethiopian army is bruised and battered. Take a look at the HP, down to basically half of their HP. And with Hearttt out of commission, with 0 harassment occurring to the western side of the map, no, it's not surprising why Team Aftermath GG. Let's take a look. Hera with his usual StarCraft level APM, 81 Arbalest, 69 elite skirmishers. Let's see if there was any slinging. No tribute sent, no tribute received, no trade profit as of yet. Let's take a look at who had the highest resource. Hera with the most wood, the Viper with the most food, our Japanese again with the most gold and stone. So Hera, what was his score compared to the other team? So Hera did have the highest score in the game, 144 civilian population, second only to the Viper. And now let's see the big juicy numbers we want to see. Jordan with all of those range units, the most kills in the game, the fewest deaths go to the Viper. Surprising. That is very surprising given how under attack the Viper was here in the middle part of the game. Remember, there was basically all of Team Aftermath's ranged units were here. But at the end of the day, again, just this unending attack on our green Berber. And Hera, even though he tried to help out here. And by the way, had he not been attacked here, I mean, it's a trite thing to say. Had he not been attacked, he would have been able to clear this up. Would have been able to clear this up. And then Hearttt, maybe. But what is Heartt's production facilities here? Only 3 stables and a barracks. And even though the Berbers, remember, the Berbers have some pretty damn good options when it comes to their stable units. They are a lightning fast, cheaper civilization, just unable to get the numbers up. Take a look at his resources, barely any gold. Again, only enough food for 5 villagers. So, wow. Game 1 of this Showmatch best of 7. I believe this was game 1. Like I said, spoiler alert. If you, you know what, if you ignored the first spoiler alert, you're going to ignore this one. The other games lasted about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not going to reveal what the results were. But ultimately, yeah, this particular game is incredibly excited. I am shocked that this cow is still alive, having drank this greenish, brackish water. I mean, look at this. By the way, of course, it's the Viper who is the one in the middle of the map, taking all of the available resources. 1 dock to the north, 1 dock to the south. Yucky, yucky water. Ugh. But what an absolute fun map. Look, if the other maps are like this, and they are, by the way, if they're this much fun, and if the team matchups, because remember, this is a 3-on-3. This is not a 1v1. This is not a purely Arabia map, for example. This is a 3-on-3 on a bunch. I think there's one map called Double Enchilada or something like that, which is super cool. And I believe the tournament, don't quote me, but again, links in the description below. Check it out. I believe the tournament is in July. And I am incredibly excited for this tournament. I want to thank the hosts of the tournament, but also equally important, I want to create whoever the hell made this map. My goodness, what do you even make of a map like this? Whenever you have, by the way, I'm gonna one last thought, and then we're gonna end the video. Whenever you have a map like that's this bonkers, where you have a bit of lumber. I mean, some players have a lot of lumber in the front. Some players have not a lot of lumber in the front. There's a lake in the center. There's dolphins. There's cows. There's baobab trees. There's random piles of stone and resources everywhere. You have to be amazing at this game in order to survive 40 minutes. So, again, even though Team GamerLegion takes game number 1, really, truly, because of the complexity of this map, because of how bonkers it really is. Think about it. You know, when you play this game, like these high-level players, these high elo players, and you played thousands of games, mostly on Arabia, you know, some arena, some fortress, some Amazon tunnel, you know, whatever, but mostly on open maps like Arabia, Atacama, Africa Clearing, all these kinds of maps. Basically, there's a certain finite number of maps. When you come into contact with something that's this bonkers, you better have your game on point, because you do not have a roadmap for this. I mean, unless the players have played on Row Rage before. I made a little pun. I said roadmap. I should have said row map, given the name of this map. But in any event, brackish water aside, the big winner is obviously this one cow, which, oh, look at the dolphin. Look at Flipper. Look at Flipper doing little tricks for us. As the Viper just oh my, look at this guy. Look at this. I love this game so much. This is why, oh my God, tricks. Dolphins doing tricks. This is what I'm talking about. When you have a map that this is bonkers, your game better be on point. And these are 6 amazing players. So I am very excited for the rest of this tournament. Again, don't quote me. I think the rest of it's in July. But if there are more show matches, I'm definitely going to be casting more show matches if I'm allowed. If the hosts of the tournament don't look at this video and say, who the hell is this guy and why the hell is he casting this match? If they don't say that, I will be back for more once these games are played. And yes, GamerLegion takes the big W, but really, truly, GG to all players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.